Hey everyone, so guess what? Today I am reviewing my first ever classic Doctor Who episode. When I first started doing YouTube videos, nearly 2 years ago, believe it or not, as soon as I did my first Doctor Who video and the Whovians sort of came at me, everybody was like, review classic Doctor Who please, and I've always said once I've reviewed all the 21st century episodes, I will gladly do that. And now I finally reviewed all of the C21 ones, I can get started with the classics. Now this will take me forever, because there are pretty much an infinite number of classic episodes. Of course that's not true, but there are many. And I watched the first one, which I think I'd seen the first like 5 minutes of before, but I didn't watch it. I was like 14 at the time or something, maybe 15, and I wasn't interested. Having watched an Unearthly Child, that's a bit of a mouthful, I am very impressed. I have a couple of issues with it, but you guys have to understand, the die-hard Whovians who've seen every ever episode, you have to understand that I am very loyal to 21st century, and my views of Doctor Who have been coined from David's Doctor primarily, then Chris's, then Matt's. All my views and my opinions and the things I love the most have come from these Doctors. So in that sense, I'm not looking at this obviously as a fresh episode, but I also am. I have two sort of separate views. So this aired on the 23rd of November 1963. There was a whole big, happy birthday thing every day, every 23rd basically of November. And the episode is 25 minutes, which I was quite delighted about. I thought it was going to be about 45 minutes, but then I remember reading somewhere that the episodes didn't explore over the half-an-hour gap for quite a while. There was this whole big, oh my goodness, Doctor Who is 45 minutes, what's going on? Nowadays, it's like, oh my goodness, it's only 45 minutes, are you kidding me? But this was very good. I thought the introduction was quite weird. Obviously it's in black and white. The introduction, when they're rolling the credits and things, the title sequence is very weird, very scary. Also the theme tune, which is played at the beginning and the end, got my heart racing like never before. I think the current theme tune is very different to the original, whereas I think David's and Chris's were a lot more like it, but whenever I hear that, my heart just beats really fast. It is the one theme tune that gets my heart racing and, evokes every emotion I've ever had, The plot itself for this one is done in such a peculiar way. I really like the plot. We have 15-year-old Susan Foreman. She goes to a school in Britain, a mortal school, and her teachers are kind of confused by how she's really good at history and she knows a lot of stuff, but then she thought they were on the decimal system, which to me I'm like, oh, thought they were too at that time. Never mind. This is obviously set in 1963, it's contemporary for the time. And they're like, well, how do you know all this? And they follow her home and they find the TARDIS and they get very confused by that. And they're like, what on earth is this? It's vibrating. Bearing in mind this was 1963 and a lot of things hadn't even been invented by at that point. So nowadays, if it wasn't for Doctor Who, we'd be shocked by a vibrating police box. For many reasons, I will say. But back then, that's, pretty mental. And they discover the Doctor and they confront the Doctor and it's very weird, I love the concept of how there's this schoolgirl who seems to be a stereotypical schoolgirl, but her knowledge for some things is impeccable and she knows stuff that she couldn't ever know, stuff that's happened in the future, whereas at the same time there are a lot of things she seems to be bad at, but it's because she knows information beyond, the average mortal's wildest dreams. I love that concept. The only concept I don't like is having a 15-year-old as the Doctor's companion. Fair enough, it's the Doctor's granddaughter and that's fine, but the fact that she's 15 kind of makes me think, really? I don't like this at all. It's not a major issue as long as I forget that she's only 15, it's fine. I'm keen to see how my opinion on that particular point sort of develops over the next few episodes and things. Not sure how long she sticks around for, but I know the two teachers are in it for a good couple of episodes, because I was going to watch the next episode and treat it as a two-parter, but then I realised that according to IMDb they stick around for quite a while and they play quite a significant part. So I'm going to treat them as individual episodes because they kind of seem like a big interlinked one. But I'll see how that goes. William Hartnell's Doctor I love, but he is not what I know to be the Doctor. He contrasts with all three of the 21st century Doctors. They're all friendly and loving and bounding around and youthful and energetic. I say youthful, they're obviously, as the Doctor, older then than he was then. He wasn't even in his 900s at that point, I don't think. That would be a weird timeline if he was. But this doctor, Hartnell's doctor, seems quite aggressive and quite offensive and rude and seems to dismiss everything. I'm hoping he changes quite a lot. You know, there were a few comments. I was watching it on YouTube. The episode is on YouTube. I will post this as a video response and link the first part in the below bar. Quite a few people were, you know, leaving comments saying, wow, this doctor is mean and things like that. And I think had that been the first episode I seen of Doctor Who, you know, say somebody had said to me, watch this and then you can watch the new series, I'd be like, this man is an idiot, I don't like him at all. So I think as a first impression I would have been quite put off by the Doctor and probably wouldn't have watched any more episodes after this. You know, and the reason I continued to watch Doctor Who is because I fell head over heels in love with David Tennant. If it wasn't for David, I may not even be a Doctor Who fan, which is a massive thing to say and really makes me sick to my inner core because I could never imagine that. But if this was the first episode I watched, it would be weird. You know, the Doctor, Hartnell's Doctor seems almost evil, and that's a quality I don't like, you know. Well, obviously there are all these connotations of specifically David's Doctor being quite, you know, a lot of facts about him we don't know and a lot of things we shouldn't know. Sort of giving him a more dark and mysterious past. You know, like he's a problem. You know, he doesn't fix them. He causes these problems. But still, as a standalone episode, it's very good. At the very end, I'll tell you this because it's if you don't want to know what happens at the very end of this episode, then stop watching, go watch it, come back. At the very end of this episode, the TARDIS does take off. The takeoff for the TARDIS is the most hilarious thing ever. I mean, it's quite advanced quality given the fact that this was 1963, but it's just so bad. It's so funny watching it happen. I'm like, oh, this is cringeworthy. It's so hilarious. It's great though. It really is. Very, very, very pleased with this episode. In fact, I've talked more about this episode than I have done many of the Series 3 and some of the Series 4 episodes, actually. I did enjoy it quite a lot. I would happily watch it again. It's great. Cannot wait to watch the next one. I will try and do a Doctor Who episode a week. Obviously, I will stop that when the new series takes over. But that's not going to be till November. Or possibly a little bit before that. But I'm still very, very annoyed, you know. Oh, grr. But we'll see. But yeah, I did love this a lot. Please feel free to leave comments and let me know your thoughts. If you've never seen the original, go and check it out. It's only less than half an hour. You will love it. It is fantastic. As I said, few issues. Issue with Carole Ann Ford's character. She plays Susan. Her character's age, not happy with. The Doctor's personality, not happy with at this stage. But everything else is really good and I'm really, really excited to see how it unfolds. Cannot wait. Let me know your thoughts and I'll see you all next time. Bye!